Okay. Hey guys, I'm going to do a things that I have finished video, so a crochet video. I've got stuff everywhere, so I may have to do a little bit of reaching and that sort of stuff, but I've got a lot of stuff. I've got some finished objects, I've got some works in progress, I have some things that I've bought that I'm going to tell you about. I got a really good deal on some yarn, so I'm going to tell you about that. If you see Lola over here in the corner, she's up here on the table with me, or on the chair with me. So, I'm trying to think. I guess I'll start with the finished objects because those are actually a little bit more organized than anything else. So, let me just start with these items. Let me grab my little bucket. So the first thing I finished finally was I finished this blanket that I made. It's a baby blanket, so it's small, but I finished it. And let me fold it so I can kind of hold it up better for you. It's a granny square pattern blanket. So, and it's made out of, mostly out of Red Heart or Karen 1 pound. But what I did was I did granny squares, and then I kind of worked them together, and I joined them using the join that we did for the crochet along with the crochet crowd, the blanket that we made, where it's kind of like almost a braided technique right there, and then I went around it again with some more of the granny square stitches, you know, that you do the pattern to kind of join it all together. I washed it the other day, so I need to go back around it and kind of make sure all my ends are trimmed up. There's, you know, one here. Because, you know, when you wash, or when I wash stuff, sometimes my little ends where I had sewn them in, they kind of work themselves back, you know, a stitch or so. So I have to go back and trim them up, but that's not a big deal. So, so I'm glad that's finished. It did kind of become a pain after a little bit, doing all the squares. So, although it's kind of a neat pattern, I get tired of doing all the squares and then sewing them all together. It's a lot of sewing your ends in and that kind of stuff. So, it does get a little bit tedious after a while. So, all of the rest of my finished yarn objects, like actual made out of yarn objects, are headbands. I went a little headband crazy this week, and I made, I don't even know how many there are here. There's a bunch. So let me just get to showing them to you. I made 2 of these solid color headbands, these solid blue ones. So there's 2 of these, and these are just the ones done on the Addy Express Professional. So, and they're sewn together at the end here. So, that's one. And these are all washed, so some of them might be a little bit, they're very soft, but sometimes they get a little wrinkly in the wash, and I have to mess with them a little bit to get them shaped back up. I did this one, which is stripes, and it's a teal in that same dark blue. So I thought that one turned out. I think that's really pretty. I did stripes in this buttercream type, well, it's like a butter color, and also the dark blue. And these are almost all out of like scraps that I had, you know, a larger quantity of. So this was a really good way to use up some of those longer bits and pieces that I had, or, you know, I had, you know, not enough to make anything big, but just too much to kind of put into one of my scrap shawls. So I thought this one was cute. This is like, this reminds me of like a team color. I just can't think of what team, but I really liked the way this soft gold or yellow and the other one worked together. So, and I made one that was all of this color, this buttery color. I'm just gonna call it butter. It's butter colored. So I made that. And I guess I should tell you, all of these are gonna be, with the exception of one that I'll tell you, they're pretty much all either Red Heart or Karen 1 Pound or Karen Simply Soft. They're all kind of the same. That's all kind of what they're all made out of, should be. I had just enough left to do one in this gold color that I really like, that I've made a lot of stuff out of. This kind of marigold color. So I made one of those. These next several, well, here, I'll show you this one. I made a, this one I really liked. This is out of just some variegated I had left. I think I made a little girl a hat out of this. So, and then I had this much left, so I thought this was really cute. This is like almost an Easter color to me, I think. It's just super cute, so. And then, let's see. This is just a scrappy one that I was using some of my little tinier bits off of. It's white, and I just tied in some of that gold, the butter, the blue, and I thought it turned out actually kind of neat how some of the rows, are not all the way complete. Like, so it stops here, you know, there wasn't enough. This one, it stops here. This one has yellow and blue in one row. So I thought that actually turned out kind of cool looking. So there's that one. This one, I didn't put this one up on my Etsy page because I don't know. If anybody likes it, just let me know. It was kind of an experiment as to if I could use my little bitty scraps to make a headband, and it's cute, but it's to me, I think it's too many different widths. Can you see how, let me do it like this. See how it gets so much fatter down here than it is up here, and it's just because of the different types of yarn. Some of this yarn is thicker than others. You can really see it right here on the back, how this side is so much thicker than this side. You know, so I didn't post this one. I mean, it was just an experiment. I think that it would be cool if to do this again. I'll just make sure that my yarn is all kind of the same, texture maybe, because, and I don't know, it's all kind of the same yarn. I don't really know. These two pieces right here, or these three colors, this maroon, this kind of weird gray, and this green, those are really the only three that were different textured. So I'm not real sure why this end is so much wider than this end, but not all experiments work out. So I mean, it was fun to crank it through and watch it come up into that pattern. The next two I made are the two that are made out of not like Red Heart or Karen, and I'm not really sure what this yarn is. I've had it for quite a while. I think I got it in one of those just random bags that I bought from somebody on Craigslist, and it's a thinner, I don't really know what weight. It's not a, I don't think it's a worsted weight. Let me just show it to you. I'll hold it up. Let me get close. Hopefully it'll focus on that. It's a, I don't know what it is. It's not a worsted weight. It's a little bit thinner than a worsted, but it's not, you know, it's not like a fine weight type of thing. I'm not real sure. Maybe it's like a DK or a sport. But it's kind of a, you know, it may even be like a sock yarn from the way it patterns. I mean, I could see that, but it turned out, I never knew what to do with it because it was so much thinner than any of the other yarn I usually work with, and I didn't have a whole lot. Like, I had enough to do 2 of these headbands, and that's it. It used up all of it. So so I made 2, and they're kind of like a camo, I guess, green, and they're really cute. I just don't really know what kind of yarn they are, but I did wash these and they washed up just fine. So I mean, it's not anything too delicate, so, but I thought these are really cute. These would be good for just as headbands and not necessarily just ear warmers because they're kind of on the lighter side. So, and the next, let's see, 2, 4, 6. Okay, the next 6 are all kind of from scraps of that blanket that I just showed you. So they're all kind of similar, just different patterns. There's a solid color with the light blue, like the denim color that was in the blanket. And then I took the variegated and combined it with the light blue. And I thought that was really cute. Kind of reminds me of a sweater with that kind of variegated stripe in it. This one is the variegated in white. It's kind of cute. I like that. And here is the same kind of pattern as the blue, but with white and variegated. Here, let me go this way. So the top part, like here, is white, and then it does a couple of variegated stripes around the back, the side of your head. So that was cute. And then let's see, I've got 2 more of those. This one is the blue, the variegated, and the white, but you almost can't tell. It almost just looks like a bunch of variegated, just, you know, with different lengths. But I thought this one was really cute. And this one is not symmetrical. Usually I try to make them pretty symmetrical, but this one turned out just cute, not, you know, not necessarily matching. It's almost opposite on one side as the other. And then the last headband is this one, and it's that dark blue and the variegated together. And this dark blue is a little bit thicker, I think. I'm not sure. I think it was Red Heart, but I'm not real positive. But it's a little bit thicker than all the other yarn, so you can see how it comes in a little bit at the variegated. And it does that in a couple of the other ones, but it's not real noticeable. And I don't think it really, I mean, it doesn't detract from the way it looks. I think it's still super cute. So, but this, I can't remember, whichever one is a little thicker, the Red Heart or the Karen, that's what this dark blue is. That's why it poofs out a little bit more, but it actually kind of adds to the effect. I really like it. So that's all of those. If that wasn't enough of them, I just kind of got, you know, I don't know, went crazy with them because they're really fun and, you know, an easy project to make. So that is all of the finished objects that I have that are made from yarn. I do have a bunch of stitch markers to show you. And let me take, like, I have a whole bunch. Like, look at all these. So let me take them off of the hook. I just had them on the hook so that I could remember that I hadn't shown them to you yet. And then I'll put them up on my little, I have a little board that I put all that kind of stuff on. So just to keep it from getting tangled. So I did finally get me some of the lobster clasps for my crochet stitch markers to try them out. I haven't really gotten them before just because you don't get very many in a thing, like when you order them, or not order them, but I got them from Michael's, and you don't get very many in a package. So, you know, I haven't gotten them before because I thought, well, I'll have to charge more for those stitch markers, and I don't really know if I want to do that just to get the lobster clasp. But I thought I'd give it a shot and see if y'all like those or not. So, but anyway, I'll just jump right into it. I found some of these really cute charms that say peace, hope, and love. Let's see if I can hold them. There we go. Maybe you can see them that way. And I did put the lobster clasp on these, so you can see them like that maybe. So I made these, and these would work for knit or crochet because you know, because of the clasp, you don't have to open it or not. I made 2 of those. I just think these are so cute. Peace, hope, and love. And they came in a pretty large thing. Those peace, hope, and love ones. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of them on different kinds of hooks. I made these, 2 of these. This is the same thing, except these are these clasps that are a little bit simpler. You know, the ones you just push like this down. Let me show you. They're hard to show because they move around so much. But I do have pictures of these already up on my Etsy page, so that's what those look like with those kind of clasps on them. And I made 2 of those, and I made 1 set with the just solid jump type rings that would just work for knit. There's those. And I made, let's see, these are kind of similar, except they the little charms are a little different. They still say peace, hope, and love. And they're on the rings as well, but they're more like little plaques, I guess is what you'd call them. They're not like beads. They're more like, you know, little flat pieces. So I made those. I have these are super cute. I found these little skull charms at Michael's the other day. And I thought they were so cute. I have 1 set that's this color, and then 1 set that's black. And let me show you the black ones. And I thought these were so cute. I'm not a huge skull person, but these are like cute skulls. And then 1 of them on each set has a little flower. So it's like a girl and a boy skull. This one has a little flower at the top of her head. Those are super cute, and they're on those the lobster clasps as well. So I thought that was so cute. I made a set of, there's 4 of these, and these are like nautical. These are all nautical kind of ones. There's a starfish, a whale, what do you call that? The steering wheel on the boat, the big circle. I know there's a real word for that. And then there's a sailboat. And they're all on the little lobster class too. So they'd be good for knit or crochet. So I thought those were cute. And they're like little medallion ones. So they're super cute. There's this is the wheel thing that I'm talking about. And then the sailboat. Okay. And my last 2, these have the same little charm on them that said, this says peace, and this one says love. It's like a little key. But I made these for, these are for knit. When you do like, mittens or whatever, and you have to hold your stitches for the fingers, you can put them on here to kind of hold your stitches so you don't have to leave a needle in there. You can actually take your knitting needle out and use them on the other, you know what I'm talking about. And I made 2 of those, and these were just kind of an experiment to see if anybody was interested. You know, they would be super cute as well, just kind of clipped on to like a bag or something. I mean, they don't have to be necessarily used for knit or, you know, whatnot. I just think they're so cute. That one says hope and love. They're just so cute. So I was into that, and that's all of my finished objects. If you're wondering why I have so much stuff, I was on vacation this last week. That's why I have so much stuff done, because I was just kind of at home chilling. We did go up to Center Hill Lake the weekend, but I was home all week, so I was playing with my yarn all week. So that's why I have so much stuff done. But funny enough, I have a lot of works in progress that I need to really buckle down and try to get finished, or at least try to get some progress on. I get just burn out, I guess, in the middle of some of my projects, and I'll work on them and I'll set them down. I'll work on them and set them down. Kind of like this guy. I've done a couple more rows. You probably can't tell because unless you do a significant amount, it just looks the same. So I have done some on this, but it's one of those things. I'm going to try to buckle down and finish some of this stuff that I have sitting around half done. I mean, that's just silly to have this much stuff sitting everywhere. This is almost done. You've seen this before, but it's been a really long time, and you've probably just assumed it was done and I never showed you. Or you might not have watched the first couple of videos and you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I did show this at one point when it was small, and I think I showed it a couple of times. It's much bigger now, so I have been working on it. This is a shawl. It's just the, it's a triangle shawl, and it is almost done. What happened is I took it somewhere with me to work on it in my fiance's car, and it ended up living in his car for a couple of months, and I just never went out and got it. I don't know why, and he never brought it in, so I just kind of forgot it was out there, and it's been in there. So he cleaned out his car the other day and brought it in here and set it on my table and was like, are you ever gonna finish this? So I'm gonna work on that. I have 3 scrap shawls in progress. Now these, I've said before, these are gonna be like working on them for a while type items. These are not some of the things I'm gonna try to buckle down and finish because it's just scraps. So I work on them as I get scraps. The one that's gotten the most love recently is the variegated scrap shawl. And all of these 3, as I show them to you, let me sit back a little. These 3, as I show them to you, they are all the same pattern. It's a triangle shawl, or it's just a triangle shawl, and it's on Ravelry. You can look it up. It's a super simple pattern. I've said it before, I really like it because I don't have to pull the pattern out every time to remember what it is. It's just the same thing over and over again. So I have worked on this. This is some of the scraps from my variegated projects. So that one has grown quite a bit since the last time I showed it to you. This one really hasn't grown, I don't think, at all. This is the solid color one, and this one will probably take a little while longer. I tend to use my solids up pretty good. So that's that one. And I have had this one for quite a while working on it. I went through that phase where I made a whole bunch of stuff out of cotton yarn, and I still have a bunch of cotton yarn left that I'd gotten from somebody, from another person gave it to me. It's just a bunch of cotton yarn. But I just kind of burnt myself out on making dish rags and pot holders and stuff for the moment. So I have had this for a little while. You just haven't probably seen it. But this is the same shawl, but this is cotton yarn. And I'm just adding this on as I get cotton pieces. So Stitch, what you whining about? It's okay, Bubs. So this has really not grown very much in a little while since I haven't really had a lot of cotton scraps to work on. So those are my 3 scrap yarn projects, and they just kind of sit over to the side, and I just work on them as I get scraps. So the next thing, this is one of the things that I am going to work on. This is one of my, like, I gotta work on this. This has been sitting for quite a while now. It is just a, oh, sorry. It is just a scarf. It's a, I believe this is a front post. Yeah. What I do is front post double crochet on this. This yarn is really pretty. I got this from a lady who used to have a yarn shop, and she was just selling all her stuff. I think I got it for like $1 a skein. So it is kind of, this is what it looks like. And I'm not sure that you can really see the color on here. it's one of those that has a color code. It's number 1686, and it's a Plymouth Appaloosa yarn. It's acrylic. It says it's sport weight. It's kind of, I think it's like a worsted weight, but you know, that's kind of, it says it's made in Italy. It's 100% acrylic, but it's actually pretty soft. So this is what it looks like. And I have 3 of these, so I should have plenty to make the scarf. I don't know what happens to me. I don't know, I just set it down and then I work on something else. But I hope you can see it's almost green with pink and gray in it, and it's really, really pretty. So I want to finish it. I don't know. I think it's a crocheting thing. I've had people tell me before, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I know somebody who crochets and they have like 15 projects going at the same time. So, yeah, I think it's just it's a crafter problem to not be able to finish things that we start. This also has gotten no love recently. I was really working on it hard for a little while and then kind of fell out of it. I went through a phase where I started, I don't know how many of these triangle shawls, but this is made out of, I actually have the labels for some of these, which is very impressive. This is Red Heart Boutique Unforgettable, and this is color Echo. And it's, let's see, I don't know, I mean, what else, it's 280 yards. I got this at Walmart. It is a very pretty color. See this? This is the same yarn that you've seen with that little shawl that I made. That was my scraps from the Fiber in the Burrow project. So this is what it looks like so far. And it's really pretty greens and purples, browns. It's very pretty. Again, I need to work on it. I need to just buckle down and finish some of this stuff. Yeah. I always seem to want to start something new though. It's so much fun to see something take shape like right at first, and then you know you have it and it's not as fun after so many repeats. But this is it's a triangle shawl again, like I said. And I keep some of the ones that I'm going to move around the house, like to the bedroom when I work on it. I sometimes keep in these big plastic bags just so that I don't get dog hair on them. And a lot of times I'll put the hook down here too if I use a weird size hook. Like there is a hook in this one because this is a 5.5 hook. Because I almost always use the 5mm. So if I'm using anything other than a 5, I'll put the hook in the bag. Just so that I remember what size hook that I was using. Hey, Stitch, baby, stop. Okay. Another project that has been in the works for a really long time, and you have not ever seen this one, I know for sure, is this blanket. And I don't know. I'm not going to rip this out. I'm going to finish it eventually because I've got so much worked on it. But what happens with me and blankets is that they always end up being ginormous and take forever for me to finish. And I don't know why I make my blankets so big, but it's huge. It's huge. Like, look at that. It's ginormous. You can't even probably see the whole thing. Let me half it. Hold on, Bubs. This is just half. Okay, so yeah, it's huge, and but I've gotten a whole lot of it done. I just set it down and stopped working on it, probably because it's so huge and I got bored. But what it is this really soft. Of course, I don't have the wrap. I think I have another one of these somewhere, hopefully, or we're gonna have a problem finishing it. But this is just really soft, and it's like the fuzzy kind of yarn. You can see, of course it's got some of my hair in it too, but it's very, very fluffy and fuzzy. It's really soft. And then the other color is just a blue. Just your standard, that standard denim blue that I use a lot. And I just need to finish it. I brought it in here. It was in the bedroom.